Jai Hind everyone, and I, Ujjwal Chugh, author, founder, How to Crack SSB, welcome all of you once again to the channel. And this is the OLQ podcast series in which I will going to touch each and every OLQ in upcoming episodes. We will going to get into the detailed insight of every OLQ so that you can actually make that OLQ as a part of your personality. Just go with the episodes, and I'm sure that this will going to give you a very strong knowledge, understanding to inculcate that officer-like quality within your personality. So till now, if you have not subscribed the channel, go forward, subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon so that for all the upcoming episodes, for all the upcoming videos and the podcast on officer-like quality, you must get the automatic notification. So today's episode, we will going to discuss the officer-like quality, courage, the last two one, courage and stamina. So let's start with courage. So what is courage? So courage, generally, it's a very common thing that we keep on discussing, and what people generally say is courage is the ability to take risks. But let me tell you clearly, and please correct this because this is very important. Courage is not the ability to take risks. Rather, courage is the ability to take a calculative and purposive risk. That means, courage किसे कहते हैं हम? जज्बा. जज्बा वो नहीं होता जो आंखें बंद करके रिस्क लिया जाए, उसको जज्बा नहीं बोलते. So if today you say that I jumped from the third floor of my house and I was just demonstrating the courage that I have, that I don't have any fear of heights. So let me tell you, you might call it as courage from your fickle-minded dimension, but the fact is this is not courage, this is stupidity. What courage is? Jazba किसे कहते हैं? So courage, jazba is when you take a purposive and calculative risk. मतलब जो आप risk लेते हैं वो calculative होता है, यानी कि आप अपने senses में रह करके अपनी सूझबूझ और बुद्धि से इसको सोच सकते हैं कि क्या जो मैं रिस्क ले रहा हूँ, क्या ये कैलकुलेटिव है, सही है, क्या मैं इसको कर लूंगा, क्या मुझे लेना चाहिए. एंड सेकेंडली इट हैज टू बी पर्पसिव. पर्पसिव मीन्स देयर हैज टू बी अ रीजन. अब आपको जी मेरा बैठे बैठे मन कर रहा था कि मैं फर्स्ट फ्लोर से नीचे कूद जाऊं, टेस्ट करूं. सो माइट बी यू आर करेजियस एंड माइट बी पॉसिबल दैट यू कैन जंप, बट जस्ट इफ यू आर सिटिंग एंड यू आर जस्ट jumping from first floor, so this is nothing, this is just a stupidity that you are doing, because courage is always something which is calculative and purposive. So when we talk about courage, what I see in current era within the youth, courage is one of the element which is majorly missing. And when it comes to Indian Armed Forces, in an officer, in a soldier, in any armed forces person, courage is must. अगर जज्बा ही नहीं होगा तो फौज में जाने की तो आप बात सोच ही नहीं सकते. That is why it is also said that courage is not the strength to carry on. Courage का मतलब ये नहीं है कि जज्बा आगे बढ़ने का. Rather, courage is to carry on when you do not have the strength. मतलब करेज वो जज्बा है कि जब आप बिल्कुल टूट चुके हो तब भी आप आगे बढ़ते रहे. When you do not have any reason, motivation, any strong thing left and you are totally broken, still you keep on moving, and that is called as courage. So for Indian Armed Forces, it is one of the most important element and officer-like quality. And courage is something which is again tested at two dimensions, and it is of two dimensions. And in SSB also, it is tested in both the dimensions, and in your life, in any field you go, it is tested everywhere. So one is your intelligence courage, so your intellect courage, and the second is your physical courage. So you can call it as the courage of your mind and the courage of your body. So both the things. So when I say intellectual courage or your physical courage, so both the things are different. So physical courage is something when you have trained yourself to an extent, you have trained physically your body to an extent that whenever you have to take a risk in which you have to do something physical and which is not so ordinary and it has some risk and you have to take it. So then it is more of related to the physical courage. That means the courage that is required physically. Like I'll give an example. So for example, a person who's not a very strong body structure, a very lean body, and you ask that person ki bhai, you have to do a bench press, aapko, ya let's say you have to do in a gym, you have to do a shoulder, you have to pull up a weight of 150 kg. So for that person, it requires a courage that he is lean, and it is a risk कि अगर उसको करते हुए मुझे इंजरी होगी तो मैं क्या करूँगा. So this is something which is attributed as a physical courage. Whereas mental courage is something where something intellectually to your intelligence level, mentally you are able to take a risk or not. Like, I'll give an example. You have been a person who have never been speaking in any public affair, at any public, with any audience, neither in your college, nowhere. And suddenly someone asks you that today go forward and speak on this agenda. And you have to go and you have to say some words for 5 minutes. Here what you require is not a physical courage, but you require a mental courage. Because यहाँ से दिमाग से आपको बोलना एक चीज पे. So here you need a mental courage. So calculating these courage, that is it a calculative risk am I taking? If yes, then this is truly called as a courage. So having said this, and I believe you have understood that what is courage in both the dimensions. Now the very important point comes in, which I believe and I know everyone's mind this question is going, and that is how to improvise and how to enhance my courage. I am very weak. I am not strong. I have a fear. How I can increase and how I can pull up my courage. So two very important way, it is a one remedy which has a 2 steps, a strategy through which you can enhance and imbibe and improvise your courage level if you are fearful or if you are not able to take step forward whenever you are asked to showcase your courage. So number 1, whenever anything that you have to do which requires your courage, that means which requires to cross your limited boundary. So for one thing is clear, which I believe everyone has understood, but still I'll state it once again. For everyone, courage is having a different level of boundary. So for someone, which is a very normal thing, for another person it could be a very big courageous task. Like I'll give an example. If you talk about getting down from a 3-story building, for a black hat commando, it's a very normal thing because it's a part of their rigorous training. But for any normal civilian, it is like climbing the Mount Everest. It's the biggest courageous thing that a person can think of. So the idea is, courage, the level of courage is different for every person in physical and in mental dimension both. So when it comes to something which requires your courage, in that case, number 1, you need to evaluate and you need to do a calculation that if I do it, what could be the worst that can happen to me? If that worst kills all your opportunities, if that worst kills all your opportunities, future opportunities and future possibilities to do something, then don't take a step forward. Like I'll give an example. You have been asked to jump, again same example, from a second floor, and you have been a very good gymnastic person. So you calculatively saw that I have a very flexible body and I have been doing gymnastics right from my school. Now this is something very weird, someone has asked me to do, I have never done it, but let me try it. So you need to do a calculation. If I do it, what was the maximum height I have jumped when I have been practicing? And if it is the gap is too high, and your calculation says that there is a possibility, and the possibility is very wide, that you might kill your future opportunities, you might injure yourself very badly, then in that case, you must stop and you must practice and enhance yourself to get onto that level slowly and slowly. So let me tell you, when you stop yourself, this is not called as that you are fearful. It's just that it is called as that you are smart enough to judge that whether it is under your reach or not. Fear is something when you say that it is not in my reach and I don't want to bring it into my reach. And courageous person is the one who is able to evaluate that yes, this particular thing is under my reach and under my control, and if not, then I can make this thing under my reach with a practice. Got it? So this is number one, you need to check. If the answer comes that yes, your future possibilities will not be hampered, will not be killed, and you have a very good fair calculation, no, it will work very nicely, then you can definitely go forward, do that thing with courage, take that risk, be confident and clear, and definitely you will going to make it up. Just one important thing that you have to remember is keep your mind absolutely cool and calm. Courageous person never explode. एकदम से react नहीं करते हो. Just be calm and cool. You have done a calculation, go forward it with a strong heart and mind. You will definitely going to make it up. By any chance, if you get a call that yes, this is not under my reach right now, then take a step forward back and start making yourself practice on it, so that you must adapt that particular thing that you are trying to do, and your courage, that particular area that comes, that particular work, that particular challenge comes in your reach, then go forward for it. So this is number one for enhancing courage. And number two, so I just give you an example of physical, same is applicable in mental. So in mental, let's say for example, you have been said that go forward and speak for 5 minutes. With that, you have been given a clause that by any chance, if you do not speak good, consider a hypothetical case that if you do not speak good, you will never ever going to get an opportunity in your whole life. Consider this as a universal truth. So I'm just giving you a hypothetical case. Then in this case, you have to evaluate that is it just that you have a phobia or just a hitch that there is lot of people and crowd sitting, otherwise you are a very good speaker. Otherwise you are a very good speaker, but there is a hitch as there is a huge audience is sitting, so that is why you have a hitch. So in that case you can be confident and you can see that yes, it is under my reach and I'll make it up. So definitely just be courageous and you will definitely going to make it up, and you will going to rock when you will going to speak. But by any chance, if you feel that I am not even good at expressing myself and someone has given you a clause which kills all your future possibility, then take a step forward, refuse it, which again means you are not fearful. Rather you say, okay, let me do this way, let me make myself come to a level where I am able to take this risk, I can expand my courage and it comes under my reach. So this is the very first step. If you really want to become courageous, if you want to imbibe courage within your own self, physical or mental, go and keep this first step into mind, implement this first step on your own self. Right? Second and most important, when you do something, never ever go forward or initiate that task with a judgment. Because what happens is, when you have not done something, obviously, one thing is clear, if some work, some event and some task is requiring your courage, that simply means that you have not done it. भाई courage कहाँ चाहिए होता है? जज्बा कहाँ चाहिए जो आपने काम नहीं करा? जो करा हुआ उसके लिए courage छोड़ना चाहिए. तो कोई काम आपने नहीं करा, अगर courage चाहिए तो उसका मतलब आपने काम नहीं करा. अब जब आपने काम नहीं करा, उस particular case में, what happens is, अगर आप एक judgmental approach से जाएंगे, then you will never ever going to overcome that fear of taking that risk. Why? Because आपने काम करा नहीं, जजमेंटल आप हैं, तो आप इसी डिलेमा में रहेंगे कि यार अगर ये सही नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा, लोग क्या सोचेंगे, मेरे बारे में बातें होंगी, कैसे बात बनेगी, अगर मैं SSB क्लियर नहीं कर पाया तो क्या लोग सोचेंगे, मैं 10 बारी रिपीटर रह चुका हूँ, अगली बारी भी नहीं हुआ तो लोग क्या सोचेंगे कि यार तो 11 बारी रिपीटर फेल रहा नहीं कर पाया. So the idea is, don't be judgmental. That's the important thing, the second important thing you need to keep in mind. Together, the first and the second, when you together go with them, work on them, take this strategy, adapt this strategy on your practical real life. Trust me, the level of your courage will be improvised and you will start feeling that yes, earlier you were not able to take risks, now your potential and possibility of taking risks both physically and mentally has increased a lot. And slowly and gradually this can be maximized to a different level. So that's all for the courage. I believe you are clear that what is courage, why it is most important and how to imbibe courage within yourself. So do implement and apply this strategy on yourself, and trust me, definitely the level of your courage will going to improvise. And do share your feedback, and any challenge you are facing, do let me know. I'll be always there to assist you in that. And I'm sure that you must have got the powerful learnings from this podcast, from this video. Now what I want you to do here is just go forward and below in the comment box below this video, write your top 3 learnings that you have learned from this detailed podcast. And I'm sure you must have learned a lot of things. Just write the crux top 3 learnings. And I'll personally going to review the same and I'm going to reply back onto it. Alright? And I'm sure that a lot of people who are watching this podcast, who are watching this video, and a lot of them, you are the part of the How to Crack SSB family only, the How to Crack SSB community, and a lot of you might not be a part of it. But this podcast series is just to give you those detailed insights about the officer-like quality. And the ones who are already a part of How to Crack SSB transformational journey as a part of the family, they must be knowing that they are already going with a transformational experience, as they're talking to me live every week and I keep on getting their comments and I can see the change coming within them. All those who are new to this channel or the ones who are not the part of the community right now, if you really desire to have that experience, if you really want to get that transformation within yourself in order to start your successful SSB recommendation journey, so here I have a great thing for all of you. Below in the description, there is a link to my free webinar. Click on the link, register for the webinar, and in that webinar, I would going to share the top 3 secrets for SSB recommendation, and also I would going to give you an insights of SSB recommendation blueprint program course journey. Once you will see that transformational program, trust me, you will be blown off. Your mind will be blown off, and every week, lot of aspirants are joining this journey. They are enrolling them and they are getting the
they're getting that transformation and they're getting that current of 10,000 volt while they're going with this journey. So if you are committed for Indian Armed Forces, you are committed to bring that non-uniform officer within yourself. If you are committed to bring that transformation within yourself. So here, catch the opportunity, go forward, register for the webinar, and I'll be in there in the webinar. And in the webinar, all of you who are really serious, let me guarantee you that I would going to show you something. After watching that, you will not be able to resist yourself and you will definitely going to go forward and become a part of that particular journey. So I will also going to give you some special privileges within the webinar. So just go forward and register for it and I'll catch you guys over there. And till now, if you have not subscribed the channel, just go forward, subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon so that you must get the notification for further podcast and the videos. And also, if you really have liked this podcast and the video, please go forward, click on the like video and just share the link of this video on your social media with other aspirants to whom you are connected so that this can benefit to everyone. Because I am on the mission along with the team of How to Crack SSB and the veteran. We are on a mission to create 100,000 officers, channelize 100,000 youth to become the officers in Indian Armed Forces. So I want you to see and I want you to be a part of that mission. So go forward. Have a great learning, keep sharing the great thing and register for the webinar and start your recommendation journey. Bye-bye, thank you, take care and I really love you all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.